Good afternoon. Well, good morning, I guess. Really, it's still
Yeah,
morning, I guess,
morning,
technically.
early afternoon.
Barely, barely. It's 11. Oh, it's 11, so it's still morning, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's technically
the Price
morning.
is Right is on, so until the Price is Right
Right,
is over, then it's not more, then it's not afternoon yet. That's the way. That's
right,
the way
right.
I was always taught by my grandparents when I was being babysat during the summertime.
Uh, I always, it was at least like if you didn't know what time it was, you waited till at least after lunch. That was the like. Once you ate lunch, that became afternoon. That
Yep,
at least, and dinner was nighttime was dinner. So
that's true. That's true.
But yeah, I haven't had lunch yet, so good morning. So, so
For all of us foodies, that's exactly how it goes.
yes, exactly, exactly. Oh man. So yeah. So sorry about last week. Missing last week. I was driving. I spent a 3-day event in Indiana, state of Indiana. It was awesome. Got to hang out with a lot of fraternity brothers. Got to rekindle some flames of friendship. I appreciate everybody for letting me go and do that. Um, Nothing crazy happened. Nothing overly awkward. No, nothing like that. So,
Uh,
um,
that's
but
good.
thanks everybody
It's
for letting me do that. So
I think we all, everybody's doing summer vacations and summer getaways and stuff like that. It's We need that too. That's the way
yeah.
we look at it. Is
Oh
we
yeah.
bust our we bust our ass pretty much all year round. We take a small break like early winter,
Yeah.
and then we speed back up during Christmas time, and then like late winter, we take a little bit of a breather again, but then we're right back into the grind all over again.
Yep.
So, it's like I was in a weekend with some of our vendor friends at from the mini core there
Mm-hmm.
in Delaware. It was the first time I've ever been to Delaware, so I got to see some of the local shops out there. What was it? The Action
Hi.
Figures Are
I'm in
Us. I
Delaware. Sorry. Every time anyone mentions Delaware, I go right to Wayne's World. I'm sorry. So
I get it. I get it. Uh, but the Action Figures Are for Everyone store, I think it was. I found a Skeletor figure. If we would do this at home like normal, I'd show you guys off the Skeletor figure, but
nice.
I'm here at work and I wasn't going to bring that thing with me.
No, I get it. I 100% get it. I totally understand. No, it's cool. Well, I'm glad you traveled safe as well. So,
Yeah.
while I was in Evansville, Indiana, the very last day, like literally minutes before I leave, one of the brothers that was there was like, "Oh hey, I went to this comic book store yesterday," and I was like, "When?" Because like we didn't have any fucking time. But here he snuck away, and apparently it was fairly large. It was like, oh, like we have stores that are bigger, but that's still a decent. It was like a 6,000 square foot spot. It was like the size of
Yeah.
Butler. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. I'm like that's awesome. I was like, what the hell's it doing here in the middle of nowhere? But it technically is a college town because there's southern Indiana is either right there or right beside it. Um, but yeah, it was pretty awesome. I was like, oh hey, that's kind of cool. So
To say a lot of pop culture stuff going on right now. It's sanity, right? We got was it Spider-Man No Way Home's coming out here pretty soon.
or
Uh
not No Way Home.
oh,
Spider
not No
Man.
Way Home.
Uh,
Spider New Beginning. That's
new
it.
new brand new day. Brand new day.
Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't keep up with titles anymore. They start running together after a little bit. It's a new Spider-Man movie. How about that? New
Yeah, the
Spider-Man
new
movie.
Spider Man movie comes out soon. Yes. That's
Yes,
actually 2 weeks or next week, next weekend.
next
Not this
week.
weekend, but next weekend. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
What X-Men '97? The beginning of this month, kicking ass, giving us
Oh,
all the
dude.
nostalgics.
Did you see yesterday's episode yet?
Yes, yes.
Like with the fucking brood? Oh my god, is it
Yes.
awesome?
Legitimate brood, not the crappy
Yeah.
little like alien ones from the original season. These are legit comic book accurate brood, and I was there for
Yeah.
it.
I just thought it was cool that this episode kind of felt like in the middle of nowhere though. Like it kind of came out of nowhere, right? Because it was, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, what happened to your claws? And it's like, oh, okay, now I know where we're going with this. But
Yeah.
but I thought it was kind of shitty that Kane died like super quick.
He was a throwaway character anyway.
He
I
was.
mean,
I mean, they don't. I don't even know if he's alive in the actual comic books.
No,
So,
he's
okay.
he's not even in existence right now. He was he had his 5 minutes of fame and gone. It's fine.
I was a
he was
little
a
sad that
throwaway
Maverick
character.
had the same death too, but
Yeah, I'm a Maverick fan, and I felt a little bit slighted on that. I'm like, oh, you have to do that.
right.
I was like, that sucked.
But the rest of the episode I thought was actually fairly good. So
Oh yeah. We had all the hits there. If you're a Wolverine fan, you got the hatred, you got the love, you got the ass kicking, you got the everything.
Yeah.
So it definitely. I was happy with it for the most part because we got to see some iconic scenes and
Mhm.
Wolverine when you see him as his brood Wolverine.
Let's say the Brood cover. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the new $40 cover here.
I mean, it was already like a $25 or $30 cover. Now it's
Yeah,
going to bump
right.
up to like 40
Now
or
it's going to be
50.
40 or 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all Silvestri covers right now are with
Yeah, you know
Wolverine
what?
gonna be-
I think
Same.
we actually have one of those. I think it just got rotated to Ohio. It's either rotated to Ohio or we have one in Cranberry. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty positive anyone's looking for one of those. You should go look there. So,
Oh, yeah.
Also, I want to thank everybody who came out for the 40 hours of 40-cent comics, The Warehouse. It was awesome. Thank you so much for that. We all had a blast. And that was nuts, man. Like, I just can't get my brain can't wrap around it. Like how many people showed up at 8:00 and then stayed till Sunday. Like,
Hey,
it was nuts.
I feel like the hardcore fans are kind of back into the comics a little bit. It seems like that's we had that little downslide after COVID and everything, and all the hype bros are now doing cards, TCG.
Mhm.
So they're leaving comic books alone. So now we're getting back to normacy, I guess you could say, in the comic world right
Yeah.
now. So, it's a good thing. It gives us comic people who are always looking for books and everything. Everything's sliding slowly back down. Not, pre-COVID prices, mind you, but they're getting there.
Right.
So,
Yeah, things are finally starting to plateau and get back to normal-ish. So,
yeah.
So another really extremely random thing that happened to me yesterday was I decided to watch for the second time in my life and not for 30 plus years, watched the movie Xanadu. So, have you ever seen Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John in it?
Oh, maybe
Like
once.
She plays like
Well,
this roller skating muse. It's half musical, half not, and like she plays this roller skating muse that Gene Kelly's actually, it was Gene Kelly's last movie. She convinces him and this young dude to get together and make this like music place that's like half roller rink, half disco, half rock show, half like or part like 20s like musical place like that, and the music is mostly written by ELO. But the title track was a single, and also the song "This Is Magic" by Olivia Newton-John was also a single out of there. But it came out in 1980, and it is the reason that the Razzies exist, right? No, I'm being serious. Like, I guess the guy who created the Razzies watched it and was just like, "This is so god awful. I need to make an award for bad things." But it actually, I always enjoyed it. Like, there's like a couple scenes that are kind of annoying, and the music's not awesome, but it's enjoyable in my opinion. Like, I would watch it again probably in another 30 years. But I was like, oh man, I haven't seen that in forever. Like, yeah, I'll watch that because I just had an hour and a half to kill. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. So, cool.
I was going to say, kind of getting back to a little New Dimension business here. I found. There we go.
Oh yeah, we have cosplay karaoke coming up.
It's like fucking around here, but
it's because you have the blur filter on. That's why.
Yeah.
So.
Here.
But yeah, it's
there we go. That's better.
That'll be in 3 weeks from today, down at the waterfront, at the Dave & Buster's. Good versus evil. Imagine that. Super simple. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's charity for Heroes Initiative. Come down and hang out. We love being down there. They treat us really well,
it was a lot of fun. That was the most people I've seen in a long time participating. So, I think that we need more of that. So I'm actually taking that with me to my gym, and I'm going to post it on our board. So maybe some people that are interested, because the people who came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're the comic guy." I put up the poster they're like, "We went to that show and it was fun. Do you have any other, are you guys doing it next year?" I was like, "Yes." I was like, "We don't have a poster quite yet." I was like, "I will slap that sucker in for next year's show." I was like, "But we do other events. I will bring more posted stuff and you guys could check it out." So at least I got a nice little pub there at my gym to kind of, expose people there a little bit.
All you dairy nerds.
Technically, it's Latrobe. It's in Latrobe.
Latrobe nerds.
But what was it? What else is going on? We lost Sam Neill.
Yeah, that did suck.
Yeah, for all you Jurassic Park enthusiasts, it was actually it was all week. I was seeing it on my socials about people very nostalgic of Jurassic Park, and I'll
be honest, I only saw it for like maybe 2 days, and that was it. That was the last I saw of it.
I saw a lot of people, like a lot of the people that we always hang with, a lot of people were posted, like maybe little like, "Oh, I found my first Jurassic Park toy back in the day," and stuff like that. So I saw that. I also looking through to see who else have passed recently. Mike Browning from Morbid Angel passed away.
Yeah.
62.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, another metal. I don't want to say god, but definitely a heavy influencer. I do remember Morbid Angel being one of those bands that even my heavy metal cousins were like, "This stuff's hardcore." So, so of course I had to look into them. I was like, okay. I do have a couple albums at home. I was like, it's been a while, so maybe I'll have to listen to some Morbid Angel this week.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't listened to Morbid Angel in a long time.
Yeah, they're very iconic. I remember seeing the patches on people's jackets and whatever of Morbid Angel, just because it was so cool. The lettering, the power of logos, people.
Right.
And also, we got the was it Magic the Gathering news, they released all your Star Trek for the upcoming Star Trek series. Uh Again, not the biggest Universes Beyond fandom myself, but the autograph cards seem pretty cool.
That's cool. Like that legit is cool. But
Yeah.
that's a gimmick to get them to be sold versus
Oh, yeah.
playability and fun in the game, and that's and it's like all they care about is people buying the product, which I get,
Yeah.
because you want people to buy the product too, but if people aren't having fun playing the game, they're not going to keep buying the cards.
Or it's the collector bros, that's, I have to admit, like,
I don't know. I don't know if
Patrick
you've actually
Stewart
met
card-
a lot of Star Trek fans, but we don't really usually have a lot of money. So
But Star Trek fandom is unique in its own right. You're a very passionate fan,
Mhm.
and there's been a lot of merch, but boy, does it not sell at all. Like at shows, at the store, there's some cool products. I remember the Playmates figures; those were cool.
Mhm.
I thought those were pretty cool. We have those ships and the boxes and stuff. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably what sells the most is the different ships. Maybe not
Yeah.
so much the figures themselves, but the ships do. Maybe
Yeah,
this
all
might
those
be
pewter
something.
ships. I mean, they went deep into those when they were making those, like
Yeah.
real deep. Like there's probably like 300 or 400 of those.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because they hit everything through Enterprise, which basically means they didn't do Discovery, Strange New Worlds, or Academy.
Yeah.
That's it. They didn't do the
It's
Paramount, like the actual Paramount Plus shows. Everything else was done. Was crazy.
Yeah. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know if they're holding back showing off a Patrick Stewart card with autograph.
Well, probably, yeah.
One would think that would be a big miss on their part because we saw, Captain Kirk, we saw Captain Jane Hathaway, which I think were the two big ones that I think everybody was like excited for. I did see the board cards. Those are
You
the
mean
closest
Janeway?
to
Janeway, not Jane
Jane-
Hathaway. Janeway.
Janeway.
I was like,
Sorry.
what? I was like, wait a minute, what did you just say?
Wrong character. Sorry.
All good.
Bad. I did watch a lot of Discovery. I liked Star Trek Discovery for the most part. I mean, I know it is not popular. It is very niche.
Well,
But-
I mean, the first season was very weird because like you had this copyright fight about the Klingons, so that's why the Klingons all looked so jacked up, right?
Yeah.
Like they were, and they didn't speak English; they spoke Klingon. Like this was that. I think that was actually the part that annoyed me the most about the first season was like every time they talked, I had to read the screen. And I was like, where the hell is the universal translator? Come on, guys. But it's like the second and third seasons were phenomenal, and 4 and 5 were okay.
Yeah.
They were still better than 1. 1 was probably the first season was probably the worst season of that show.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, but Strange New Worlds is amazing. That actually kicks off next week too, or a week and a half. It's 25th. It kicks back on. And then Academy's been great too, but a lot of people hated that. And now there's, for the first time in like, the first time since like, what was it? Like, well, actually, no. Yeah, since the first time since like the original series stopped, we have no new Trek in the pipeline. Like we don't have a movie, we don't have a TV show. Because the Kurtzman stuff is pretty much all getting like canned, and then we're gonna see if somebody buys it, they give it to somebody else, like what's gonna go on. But like I said, I actually thought I actually enjoyed it. Like, but also the fandom ruins everything in every aspect. Fandom will ruin stuff. right? And I say that because like I've seen it happen. Like it's like you just can't be happy that we get new stuff. Like you just want the same stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but we are getting the same stuff over and over again in Star Trek because everything's the way Roddenberry wanted the world, like, or his ideas of this is how things will be and everything will be like it basically was like aliens landed, screw everything else we got going on and hating each other. We now have aliens. We are not alone. We need to work together to make sure the aliens don't kill us. That was pretty much his entire thing. Yeah. And, and then they started working with Vulcans, they started working with Andorians, and they made the Federation. And that was kind of the point of where people need to learn, hey, we're part of a bigger thing, and where everybody just kind of dropped the hate, got along, and started working together more. So it's very interesting because they're like, we always hear like Academy's like super woke and they went over the line and blah blah blah, and I'm like, so in the 60s when you had a biracial kiss that they consistently recorded no other version of it because Shatner and Nichols were like, no, we're gonna do this, and they just kept every time they just kept doing it. So they had to air it like that because they were progressive in that time, because at the time segregation was still a thing. Well, not that it was supposed to be a thing, but it was still a thing. So it's definitely one of those things where I think that a lot of people forget why Star Trek exists and the point behind it. So, but all right, let's talk comics. Enough about Trek. So.
Hey, you like talking about it more than I do.
I do really enjoy talking about Trek. And actually, what's really funny is when I went to that meeting last week, they like blindly paired you with another province governor to room with. So I get in this room, and I'm like, video games. I'm like, I might know who this is. And then I look over and I see a bag with a big Star Trek Delta. I'm like, oh, I'm rooming with Ryan. So one of my brothers, who's a province governor from Mississippi, is actually the fleet admiral of Starfleet International. So he comes in the room a few minutes later. I'm like, Admiral? He's like, Lieutenant Commander. And we just bullshitted for a while, mostly about Star Trek. So it was a lot of fun to catch up about that. So
here we go. One of my favorite books, and again, a Silvestri masterpiece, The Darkness, number 6. Pretty much picks up where we last left off with the Brotherhood trying to get a hold of things. Well, it starts out with Jackie eliminating a lot of these Brotherhood people. He's in a congressman, almost kills a boy for no reason. Some of his darkness minions actually pull him back from doing it. And then we get a little bit about the Brotherhood trying to gather up and trying to go after Jackie. Meanwhile, Jackie's talking to Zach, who is the one who pulled him back from the darkness, explaining as basically he wished his life was like an actual like child, instead of being brought up like in the mob and taught how to kill people and everything. How he wants to get rid of the darkness, this curse, but he has to tell Jenny everything, like the fact that he had to, he was like how her family died and everything else. Um, and she goes and she actually gets back to like where her family was killed. Uh, and he basically just kind of lays out everything of the whole family being killed by the Angelus. And Jackie tries to explain everything, but again, it's one of those. He's trying to keep her from getting hurt, but at the same time, he knows that he did this for himself and not maybe so much her. And the Angelus comes, and there is the deal that the Angelus offered Jackie of, you get her pregnant, pass the darkness on to his child, and then they make sure that the child does not suffer the same way Jackie has. Well, of course, Jenny's like, screw you, and starts shooting at the Angelus. She actually hits him with the bullet. Doesn't hurt her or anything, but the Angelus actually attacks Jenny, and they're like, we need them both alive. And of course, her subordinates are like, we don't care. We need to get rid of this thing. And they betray the Angelus. So it turns out to be quite the cluster. And Jackie and Jenny are running. She has 2 arrows in her chest. And we think she's pretty much dead or close to death. That's the way the book ends. But it was definitely a lot of soul searching on Jackie's part. Less actiony. Again, I'm enjoying this, the revival of the darkness. I'm a big fan, always have been, but I am enjoying it. But here's the funny thing for the music portion of this. A lot of these are not my style of music, but they're definitely old. I guess you could say they're old school now, just because of the age of these songs. I put "You Ought to Know" by Alanis Morissette. Just because of all the betrayal in this book right now, across the board. I feel like that was fitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ugh. My first book is Magic the Gathering: Untold Stories of Jace, number 3. We got one more to go after this. So this book picks up where Jace and Vraska are running through Shiv. They're running from a Baloth. They finally get to safety in Vern because they planeswalk from Ixalan to Vern. And while they're there, Jace is like, I'm going to remember some more stuff. So he tries to remember the rest of the story where they're looking for the Celix with, where he's looking for the Celix with Tezzeret. And on the other, so they're climbing one side of the mountain. The other side is where Squee and a bunch of other guys are climbing the other side of the mountain. What the hell was it? Was it a Hellkite? Yeah, a baby Hellkite like completely kills like some of their people of the non-Jace stuff. Then they get to the door. A crazy old man is like, no, you can't come in here unless you're already dead. And Tezzeret pushes him off a cliff, which was kind of cool. He's got a little baby dragon whelp just hanging out there while they're on Valakut. And so the other side also comes in. So they finally both come into the cave. And they're attacked by a bunch of undead skeletons. They can't really do much, so on the other side, Ad Adliz, the daughter of Joda and Johora, or Joria, who I'm pretty sure becomes Jaya Ballard, um, like burns them all to ash. So, um, then there's like a seed where Tezzeret like completely annihilates Squee, and he pops back, and he's like, "What the hell?" Um, so they all kind of have a throwdown, and they realize that something else is in that cave, and something is talking to them on the last page, and it's the last thing he says is, "Please allow me to introduce myself," but he doesn't actually tell you who he is, but it's got to be one of the Elder Dragons, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm I like this book a lot, and like basically like it's a crazy adventure of Jace and Tezzeret spelunking for a Celix. So I'm going to use Alice in Chains Down in a Hole. So
Nice.
right, so
You can't go wrong with a classic like that.
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, we got Absolute Batman number 22. Now, this was not this week. This was last week. But boy, we were really getting into the origins of a lot of the Batman's helpers in this one, where this is Harley's. And this basically goes back to Harley's mom is a scientist. And they're she's putting her to bed, talking about ghosts in the closet and everything. Then we get kind of transported to current day, where Harley and Batman are fighting in the streets of Gotham against the police. And she's trying to tell him like a bit of her thing and why she's supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of insight on more about the Joker and how he orchestrates everything in this story. She talks about DNA, everything else. Like her mom was a seriously messed up psycho, to the point where she's even wearing like the Harley Quinn outfit. There's like a dungeon full of mutated humans eating each other and everything. And, it was all to, I guess, help like Arkham End, which again traces back to Joker. Everything is, a lot of the Arkham stuff, and Batman's basically kind of ignoring her, and she's like, "You don't get it. You're like, you think you're fighting this alone and you have your own reason, but some of us are also fighting for our own reasons and want to join you." And she actually zaps Batman with her, she has like a hammer with electricity going through it, and she sends him like across the alley and everything. And Batman goes and visits his father's grave, and completely apparently the Scarecrow and the Joker resurrected Thomas Wayne, and they have him chained up and everything. And Harley sees this, and she's like, "Just letting you know," she's like, "whatever they show you could be true, but it might not be true. You're like, they're messing with your head, and you can't let them mess with your head." Again, Scott Snyder can't say enough about how brilliant this stuff is, the deeper meanings in this. awesome. Uh, but because this is a lot of Harley's origin story and how like her mother basically betrayed her, betrayed everything. Uh, I'm gonna go with this is a deep cut here because it's been a while. Family Portrait by Pink.
Okay.
I just because it has to do with her father or mother daughter issues, and this book is for that. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. My next book is a reprint of Showcase 4 that came out this week. So if you've never read The Origin of Barry Allen, like this is the reprint version of this book. And I have never, I've held real ones. I've never actually gotten to flip through it. But it starts out with, somebody's like, these two guys, this radar station in the East Coast is like, what is going on? They're like, I'm picking up a strange object, not a UFO, non-identified flying object on the ground. It's faster than we know. And then all of a sudden it goes into the whole Barry's literally drinking a carton of milk while reading a Flash comic, like a Golden Age Flash comic, when the lightning comes through the window and hits him with all of the stuff. The thing I find hilarious about this part, right? And this is I never thought of this till just now. So what point in the world are we where Barry Allen gets struck by lightning, a bunch of chemicals burned on him, and then he just leaves and goes home? Like no hospital, no nothing, just, well, I guess, he's like, well, I guess I spilled all these chemicals all over myself, so I should probably take a taxi and go home. So he goes to try to get this taxi, and as he's, like, kind of trying to chase the taxi down, he, like, runs past it, and he's like, well, that's weird. And so he's like, you know what, I'm a little shaken up. Maybe I'll go get some food. So he goes to this diner, and this waitress, like, spills the tray, and he grabs it all and puts it back together, and he's just like, that just seems weird, because to him, time is, like, freezing. So he's just trying to, like, he tries to, like, rationalize it in his head. And then he goes to see Iris the next day, and there's a stray bullet that flies at Iris's face, and he pushes her out of the way just in time so she doesn't get hit. So he's just like, what is going on here? It's like, I must be doing this. So he realizes that he has powers. He loves the Golden Age Flash. That was his hero in the comics, but those guys don't exist in that universe, because that's Earth 2. Earth 1? Whatever. One of them. And then, so he creates the suit that can fit in the ring, and he starts going out to stop this robbery. And the villain is the Turtle Man, who is, quote-unquote, the slowest man alive. Even when he talks, he is ridiculously slow. So he shows up and he's like, what the hell? Like, nobody's here. This is weird. So the turtle ends up, like, using him, tricking him basically into plowing into the wall and busting a hole into the bank. So then they have like a boat chase. They actually call him the Scarlet Speedster on page 11 for the first time ever, which is cool. And then, he obviously saves the day and goes back with Iris. And then there's like a backer story where he fights this dude from the future that got sent back, who looks a lot like Lex Luthor, like a really skinny Lex Luthor. But he also goes through the Speed Force and goes into the future for the first time, and then back in this book. It's printed on newspaper paper, which is awesome. So it's got that feel, but it is the size of a regular comic. It's not the size of a Golden Age or Silver Age book, which is the only downer for me, because I like to see it just a little bit bigger in that Silver Age size. But this was really cool because, like I said, I never got to actually look through it. So if you haven't seen any of these reprints and stuff, this is pretty cool. They did a foil version of this too, which was kind of nice. Um, so my song for this is "Thunderstruck" by AC/DC because the Flash. It's the origin of the Flash, man. It's the origin
Yep.
of the Flash.
All right. Now I'm trying this one partially because of my curiosity. Partially, I am into D&D, but also my wife is listening to the audiobook currently too, and
Hmm.
it is probably the biggest phenomena of 2026, to be honest. Is Dungeon Carl Crawler Carl?
Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah.
God, that's going to get annoying very quickly. I'll do DCC. That might be better.
Right. Or DC
But
two. Someone's gonna call
yeah,
it one of the two.
yeah. But it's number zero, first issue. Now that I know this, what there, it's not. This is not the manga version. This is the Americanized comic version of this. So basically, we get the background of this guy. Gets dumped or dumps. Doesn't really specify. Um, Looks like he was in the Coast Guard, military guy. His ex, he's living in his apartment, just chilling. But while this is going on, we're getting little clips of this is how many minutes before the world ends. And each tick goes by, Carl chasing his cat, Donut. Well, his ex's cat. It's not his per se, but it's hers. Uh, his neighbor comes out to see what's going on because the cat got outside. Um, and next thing you know, the entirety of the city just disappears. And everybody is gone. Just disappears. We find out that apparently, what is it? What is the trying to figure out the Borant Corporation sold the earth for mining. So we're getting a little bit of what was the book? Was it the Galaxy Guide to? I never read it, so I forgot the title. But you're seeing a lot of pop culture references in here. Um, so Carl and Donut are wandering in basically just nothing. Uh, and then he starts getting broadcasts in his head saying, "Hey, welcome to the dungeon. This is if you complete the dungeon, you can reclaim everything that you lost. This is his only chance." Uh, but it goes through all the random stuff of, "Hey, only you and the cat came here. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you have a group? Why are you in your underwear? Oh, you came in with just the cat. You have the achievement Crazy Cat Lady." Yeah, randomness stuff in this. But it's funny because it's true to a degree. And it is going very much like the D&D way of, hey, here's a box. Here's this box. And of course, there's nothing in it most of the time. And he goes around and they enter in the dungeon through a tutorial. And at the end of the book, Carl meets up with, it looks like a bunch of goblins in a vehicle. And it's only him and Princess Donut to see what's going on until the next issue. I can see the appeal of this, again, ripping on various D&D tropes, high fantasy tropes, with the ridiculousness of, hey, I'm just a normal guy, what the hell? Which I guess is the big appeal of the entire of this. I thought it's fun. I'll have to read further into it just to see.
So I can't. Here's why I can't read this book. I feel that it is a Captain and the Game Master for D&D, right? And I love Captain Ed so much, and I love that old D&D cartoon that only went like one season so
Yeah.
much that I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I think it's gonna mess that up in my brain. So
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't do it. If it was a cartoon, maybe, but I can't. I can't read it. I
That
can't.
might be coming here. You don't know. It starts out with print first, John, and it's already.
I know. I know.
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
saying.
sure it'll get picked up by Amazon or Netflix, and it's going to be an animated feature of some sort. And then after the animated feature, there'll be a live action version of it, and then people will
Yeah.
be sick of it, and you know, it happens. But it seems to be the flavor of the month. But it is getting my wife into D&D because she's asking me all these D&D questions now. After years of trying to convince her to play D&D with me, this is
Mhm.
what it takes is, hey, here's a book about a guy and a cat doing D&D stuff in a dungeon. And now she's interested. So she's
Yep.
asking me all these questions. But I think the most appropriate of this issue 0, is it's the end of the world as we know it by REM. And I think it's right on the nose. You can't do better than that. So
I don't know. I think Ramones, I don't want to go down to the basement would also be fairly accurate.
true.
So,
But when I typed in "end of the world" uh, songs, of course,
yeah.
REM's is like the number one there.
Yeah.
And sticking to the like late '80s, early '90s ish genre. Well, '90s genre, I should say. I shouldn't say early '90s, but I feel like that kind of fit with the songs that kept popping up for all of the books this week for me. Was let's
Right.
go '90s pop. Let's go with pop. So
Right.
let's go with REM on that one.
Jesus. All right.
Hey, it's just what
So,
popped up. I try to do metal as much as I can, John, but
I
sometimes when
understand.
it's given, it's given.
I understand. I understand. So my last book is Banana Number One from Bad Idea. This book, I basically like saw this book on the shelf and went, I can't believe I'm gonna read this book, but I'm gonna read this book. Um, so and then I read it and I'm like, yeah, I have to talk about this because it's just ridiculous. So these two people, um, so the bananas are actually like a almost like a government hit squad type thing. Like they're a special forces squad, right? So they have captured banana number two, and they're trying to get information on banana number one. So he basically tells them the story of banana number one, and he's kind of like your MacGyver, like meets Jack Reacher type guy, right? Or like Mission Impossible, like Ethan Hawke, right? That's his name.
Yes.
So yeah,
Cruising
yeah.
character. Yeah.
So they this takes place in the future, by the way. Um, and the bad guys literally are called Bureau Veridic Assimilation Division, or BAD, right? So there's this town called Medieval Town that's basically was bought by when towns were up for sale in the 2030s. It was bought by some like robotics company, and there's like a whole bunch of medieval knights and horses and shit that run through there. And this guy and banana number two was a townsman, right? So he's riding a local chariot, and all of a sudden, all of these robo horses come and with giant kiwis on them, like giant uh, kiwis that can talk, like are basically with guns, are basically rounding up the town and taking over. And they're gonna bring in Banana, and he was the one who's Banana number one, and he's the one who sent it in, or saved them. But then he tells the backstory. So Banana number one was this first child born in the fundament zone, and he was given to a bunch of banana workers, and it was raised by one of them in secret. And as he ripened, he then decided to leave. So the Kiwi's name is Timmy Tommy, which is hilarious. So Timmy Tommy and Banana One like have a talk in a cafe, and this dude finally is like, "No, I wanna be part of your team." And he's like, "That doesn't make any sense. Like, we can't make any promises." He's like, "That's fine. I want to be part of the banana team." And they're like, that story was completely useless, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I know, but it bought me the time I need." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And then Banana One is outside, and he like shoots the glass so that they get sucked into space, and he like puts like a helmet on the guy, and he's like, "All right, deep breaths, here we go." And he like takes him to this ship that is called the Sky Pastor Prime, right? And it is run by, you guessed it, a bunch of cows. The commander of it is Commander Maureen Grassfed Brown. Of the Bovine Baron Elite Guard.
Wow.
So he takes him to that, and that's where it is. And then there's this really cool backstory by Mark Waid and Dave Lapham. It's called When I Was Five, and it's kind of like this little creepy backstory about someone who their brother's dead and comes back, and like it just fucks with your head. But anyway, Banana number one, I'll be honest, like, I bought it purely because I was like, this has to be the stupidest thing I'll ever read, and it was so much fun. Like, it was just so much fun. So I'm gonna give it Deo by Bobby McFerrin. Because it's about being a banana worker. So daylight come, whatever. And I want to go home. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. All these books are pretty much available at all the stores.
Yep.
If you want to pick some up, you can order them online through our website. Just go to ndcomics.com, click stores, I think, and then you can choose from any of the stores, including our Amazon store and our eBay store and our clothing store. Which one of the shirts I'm wearing right now is it's actually probably like a 10-year-old shirt from the clothing store, but it's awesome. So it's still holding up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, and also congrats to our two winners of the Danny Elfman contest, Melissa and Destiny. Melissa won the Sunday tickets. Destiny won the Saturday tickets. Justin and I will both be there both days handing out comics. So if you want to come and give us a high five, go for it. We'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, actually, me and my wife will both be there. Actually, my wife bought tickets before we even started doing this event. So I was like,
right.
So, but she's like, I'm not giving up my tickets because apparently they're good seats. She didn't show me where they're at, but supposedly it's good seats. So
okay.
And actually, because of all the construction, and it's pickle weekend this weekend too.
Yeah, it's Picklesburg.
So we're staying at a hotel in Pittsburgh for the whole weekend, so we don't have to drive back and forth.
Where are you
easier.
Where are you staying?
We're in a Hilton.
Okay, one of the Hiltons downtown.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
So,
that'll make it easy.
Yeah, and actually a reasonable price too, so we're not too bad off. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So. Cool.
But I was like, well, it's better than driving back and forth and sitting in traffic and being late. because Lord knows.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, because Sunday, I'm just going to be there to hand stuff out, and then I have to go to Johnstown for band rehearsal. So I
Yeah.
made sure I had a little bit of extra time getting out there.
Yeah. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm preparing. I'm re-preparing because we got new flyers I have to stick in every bag that we're going to give you guys. So that's what I'm currently doing.
I mean, you could have been, as long as the old ones were in there, you could have stuck the old ones in there.
Well, that was for the last show, the Arcane stuff.
Yeah.
We had 0 for the Danny Elfman stuff.
Oh,
so
well then, yeah, that's why I brought those for you. Yes.
Yep.
Well then, you're welcome.
So this is for all the Dan. So, just letting you know, yes, we do this stuff like ourselves. We don't just hand these off to other people to do this project. We have to do them ourselves.
Right. So when you come to the Danny Elfman show, you'll get some free comics while supplies last at each show. We do have a limited amount per show. But stop by the booth and check it out. We'll hand it to you. It's going to be a good time. All right. That's pretty much all the time we got for this week. We'll see everybody next week. And I think next week we should be fine on time. The week after that, though, will be early because that's the karaoke day. So we will see everybody next Thursday at the normal 8 o'clock time.